What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream here on the Basketball Network. Today, we're going to be doing a watch party for the McNeese versus Purdue game and the St. John's versus Arkansas game. And coming in here at the first media break of the McNeese versus Purdue game, Purdue has been on a hot start, only missed one shot so far, so looks like they've gotten out quick. But McNeese hanging in there. They're already down 8 points, though, so hopefully they're able to come back. I'm excited for this round of 32, the round of 64. We saw some upsets, but I feel like it wasn't as crazy as I would have expected. A few teams that I thought were going to win obviously didn't pull it out, and the bracket is looking a little rough right now. So let me know in the comments how your bracket's doing so far. I know a lot of people have already busted, so assuming there isn't too many that are still perfect, but hey, we may have a lucky few there. But Trey Kaufman-Renn, man, starting off already has 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, really playing extremely well to start the game. And then all starters for Purdue have already scored as well. So that's pretty impressive within the first 5 minutes of this game. But hoping that we'll see a few more comebacks or at least a comeback from McNeese in this one, and expecting this to hopefully be a close one for us. Also, I want to know, what was your favorite game from round one? Who did you like? Was the McNeese win over Clemson a surprise to you? Because it was for me. I was not expecting that whatsoever. Not necessarily that McNeese wouldn't win, but just the way that they dominated was very impressive. I didn't expect them to come out how they did. So that was really cool to see. Obviously, Clemson made a run, and if they would have played like they did late in the second half of the entire game, I think they would have won it quite easily, but obviously that's not the way it always goes. Amir Khan, though, the McNeese team manager, he has been an absolute celebrity so far at March Madness, so it's been cool to see all the attention that he's been getting. And I'm really hoping McNeese can make a run right here, though, because obviously with not picking McNeese, I had Clemson to the Sweet 16 anyways, so I didn't have Purdue, so I'm all in on Will Wade and the Cowboys right now. But 14-6, 15 minutes left. Let's see if McNeese can get it coming back. Looks like they're getting a little half-court pressure too, so starting to get up against Purdue. Oh, that might be off Purdue? No? Okay. Yeah, switch to a 1-3-1 defense. Will Wade out here trying to give different looks against Purdue. Let's see. Braden Smith, man, such a good point guard. One of the best in the nation. Man, yeah, that's crazy. 5 of their 6 baskets are all assisted, so really good at sharing the ball so far for the Boilermakers. Oh, good pass, Kaufman-Renn. Colvin, man, hits the 3. Already an 11-point lead. We're less than 6 minutes into the game. 3 for 4 from 3 for Purdue. McNeese 2 for 6, so not horrible, but Purdue currently on a 10-0 run. McNeese really needs to get something right here. Sincere Parker, turnaround jumper. Man, that was tough. What a good shot, though. They needed that. They really needed that for sure. (17-8), obviously. Lawyer for 3. Nope. There we go. Need to get a couple of stops here. Oh, good pass. Oh, you got to catch that, Shumente. Oh, good kick out. Nope. Backcourt, no, tip. Lawyer. Oh, that's wide open. Heidi hits the three. 20-8. Purdue on this one so far. Let's see. There we go. Get something going to the rim. Man, another good shot. There we go, Parker. Coming in off the bench. Already has 4 points. 2 for 2. Oh, good steal. Good steal. Oh my gosh, another great defense by Lawyer right there to get back. Didn't know anybody was behind him, Copeland. Yeah, people are flying at you after that. You got to be ready for that. Purdue's playing like they have been earlier in the season. I feel like they struggled later in the year, but right now, offense is looking pretty good. 20 points in the first 8 minutes of the game. Yeah, now they've switched from 1-3 run back into the 2-3. And something interesting McNeese does is they put their guys that are longer wingspan up at the top. They got Garcia down there in the middle of the paint. One of the shorter guys on McNeese. All right, second media break here at the timeout, 12-minute mark. Purdue up 20-10 on the McNeese Cowboys. Let's look at, all right, so who's been, obviously starters for Purdue all have been playing extremely well so far. Haven't missed too many shots. McNeese right now, Garcia, Copeland, and then Parker off the bench. That's been all their offense. They really need to get Shamate going out in the break. He can be someone that can get by some, maybe Kaufman Wren in this one. I know he's a little bit undersized, but man, is he quick for a big. But going back to that McNeese versus Clemson game, man, were they just on fire from the beginning. And at the first half, it looked like Clemson didn't even know how to play offense. Like 13 points, that is absolutely horrible. It was just complete night and day from the first half to the second half. I think the Dylan Hunter injury hurt Clemson a lot on the defensive end, but when it comes to the offensive side, I mean, he wasn't that big of a piece from at least a scoring output. Obviously, just played a lot of minutes, so having to fill that with other guys could have been an issue, and not as used to those rotations, but it was just crazy to see how just off they were in that first half. I thought, especially with the experience of Chase Hunter and Ian Shefflin. I mean, Shefflin had a horrible game on the offensive side of things, just absolutely awful, which is a little frustrating. But I know a lot of people, I mean, I had them picked to the Sweet 16. Some people had them Elite 8, maybe Final 4. I feel like everybody was pretty high on Clemson. Let me know in the comments if you had McNeese over Clemson. That was just one of the 12-5 matchups where I thought about, but I was not as confident in that one as I was in some of the other ones. Obviously, the Colorado State over Memphis, that was almost a gimme with that, which that one was close too, but Kean Evans played extremely well for Colorado State in that one, career high in three-pointers made, and then obviously Neat Clifford. PJ Haggerty struggled for Memphis as well, but in terms of McNeese versus Clemson, That was just the one that I was not expecting whatsoever. And so to see McNeese come out like that, I just really hope they can circle back and start playing well again today. But already dug themselves a 10-point hole. But with the way that McNeese plays, I mean, they get up and get after you, so maybe they can force some turnovers with Purdue. But I just expected this to be a little closer of a game, and I think it still can be, just because Purdue's inside the arc defense is not that good whatsoever. They just don't have that big shot blocker anymore. Obviously, Zach Edey's gone to the NBA now, so you got Kaufman Wren in there, but I feel like he's more of an offensive big. Parker, another one, misses his first shot. That was Colvin. What a dunk in that last game, though, for Colvin. That putback, it was all over Twitter or X. Braden Smith, turnaround jumper. Oh, gets the friendly roll on that one. 22-10 Purdue. Oh my gosh, Parker, what was that shot? I mean, you didn't have anything. Still 15 seconds on the shot clock. You got to kick that out, reset. That was rough. Let's see if McNeese can start making some turnovers, though. That's what they're going to need to do. They need to get out in transition, get some turnovers. Oh, Braden Smith rejecting the screen. Oh, there's one. All right, let's go. Get on the court. Rim. Nice. There you go. Get to the free throw line. 2 shots for McNeese. Yeah. And the crazy thing about McNeese is, although they are undersized, 18 offensive rebounds against Clemson. This team is athletic. Can get out there. We got DJ Richards Jr. at the line, shooting 2. This is a place that McNeese really struggled against Clemson. Makes the first, but that was the only reason that Clemson was able to get back into the game a little bit at the end, was, or at least make it close. I don't think they necessarily were ever really in the game, but McNeese from the free throw line, Copeland was like 50% there at the end. A lot of other people shooting too, and Richards misses the second. Rebound Purdue. And he's one of the better free throw shooters too, which is surprising. Oh, what a pass. Great pass, Braden Smith. Oh, Kaufman Rim missed it. They missed it. Oh, that was an easy layup too. Man, everything just runs through Braden Smith, which, I mean, rightfully so. One of the best players. What a shot, Braden Smith. Wow. Dribble pull up from the elbow. That was impressive. If Braden Smith's shooting like that, I mean, this Purdue team is tough to play against. Oh, that's a kick. Is that not a kick? Oh, good find. Good find. Yeah, Purdue's got to get it. Or McNeese has to have that timeout. 27-11. Purdue. 10 minutes left in the first half. They are just running this McNeese team. Wow, what an impressive start to this game for the Purdue Boilermakers. (27-11). Braden Smith up to 8 points, 3 for 4. Already hit 2 threes with an assist and a rebound. Surprised that he hasn't gotten most of the assists, to be honest. I feel like that's just kind of how Purdue plays, is everything goes through him. But everybody's been sharing the ball. Kaufman Wren, 4 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. All starters have at least 1 assist. Fletcher Lawyer's got 2. Man, this has been an impressive showing to start the game so far for Purdue. Also, the plan is to stay live for St. John's versus Arkansas, where we see Coach Rick Pitino taking on John Calipari. First season with Arkansas, getting the big win against Kansas. St. John's struggled a little bit in their first game at the beginning, but then blew the doors open, 30-point win. So it was an impressive showing for St. John's. And then Arkansas, man, they looked good. Held Kansas. I mean, Kansas had a lead late in the second half and then basically didn't give up another field goal and went on a little run of their own to close out the game, ending Hunter Dickinson's career, at least I think. I mean, this guy seems like he's always coming up with New Year's of eligibility, so we'll see if he gets something else. But yeah, impressive showing so far for Purdue in this one. I think the St. John's Arkansas one could be a really good matchup. Arkansas, one of the more athletic teams in the tournament, just got Boogie Flam back, which some people thought that was a bad thing. I don't necessarily know if it's bad or good, but came off the bench in that one. I wouldn't change anything. Kind of keep the same rotation. They looked pretty good. Jonas Adu has been a big part for this team, who someone that wasn't playing that much early on, and then obviously has been coming on as of late, starting for the Razorbacks there. So that's been that was an impressive one for Arkansas. And then obviously, I mean, St. John's, they were supposed to win that game, so we'll see. But yeah, 79-72 win, Arkansas over Kansas. If you are watching the live stream and you're enjoying the content, make sure to check out some of the other content that I have on the channel. I've been posting a lot of March Madness content and will continue to do so. Also, if you could like the live stream, would greatly appreciate it. But I appreciate everyone tuning in. And then also, make sure to chat with me in the comments. Barry, I see what you said. Bye-bye, McNeese. That's what it's looking like so far, 27-11. I was really hoping this would be a good first game to start the season, but that's what it's looking like so far, Barry. It's been just an all-out obliteration from the Boilermakers so far. Showing, I mean, we all knew the Boilermakers were good on offense. It's just that defense that they've struggled with, but man. Hey, Barry, appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well as well. I'm doing great. It's March Madness time, so best time of the year for me. Been feeling like a kid on Christmas morning every day, having games throughout. Hoping the round of 32. I'm hoping the round of 32 does gives us a few more upsets. I feel like it's been pretty chalky so far. I mean, even the 12-5 matchups have been not necessarily what we expected, but no surprises, I would say, so far in the tournament. So that's why I was hoping McNeese, man, could come out and do something, just because I need something to keep happening. I want a buzzer beater. I mean, that's like the best thing when March Madness, when you get a buzzer beater for an upset, or even not an upset, just some sort of close game, because I feel like a lot of these games haven't been that close. McNeese, you gotta get the boards. Oh, there we go. Oh, Copeland picks up second foul early on here in the first half. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sub him out. I thought that might have been clean, but yeah, I think he got his arm. I don't think he was necessarily shooting on that one, so Purdue just retains possession. Yeah, I agree. Very chalky. No 1-4 losing at all. I thought, to be honest, like when I made my bracket predictions, I didn't really have many 1-4s losing. I think I picked one. I picked High Point over Purdue, but I mean, that was a close matchup. I could see where it could have gone the other way, but High Point just never could get over that hump, it seemed like. Oh my goodness. Richards just going over the back of Heidi on that pump fake. Man, he got way up there. It's a scary fall, though, from Richards. Yeah, no, that was definitely on the floor. I mean, pump fake, but never went up after that. McNeese already has 5 fouls. Purdue with only 1. They have been. I mean, if Purdue plays like this on defense, they could be a tough out for anybody, not just McNeese. But McNeese has got to attack the paint. I feel like they're settling for these mid ranges, and they need to get in or kick out. Baseline, find him in the middle. Good. See, there you go. Oh my goodness, you have to finish that. Easy M1 opportunity. Another timeout, 27-11 Purdue. McNeese is getting some looks, but haven't been able to convert them. And then obviously getting to the line, you got to make your free throws. I mean, that was horrible in the first game for McNeese, even though they got that win. I mean, it was just absolutely awful from the free throw line. Let's talk some other results. So North Carolina, Ole Miss, you see that at the bottom of the screen, 71-64 Ole Miss. I mean, North Carolina got themselves into what, like a 22-point hole. I know I had North Carolina winning that game, which I think maybe I was too bullish on the Tar Heels. I had them winning even before I watched that first 4 matchup. Ole Miss has been very hot and cold for me this year, and I thought North Carolina was going to be able to take advantage of it. And then after watching that first 4, I think that turned a lot of people on to North Carolina, and they just completely flopped at the beginning. And then, I mean, we've seen that from Carolina where they'll get a big, obviously get down by a lot and then come back. And we've seen them win those games this year, but that was in an ACC, which has so far proved to not be that good. I think we all knew that, but I didn't realize it wasn't this good. I mean, Louisville just getting absolutely crushed by Creighton. Clemson getting crushed by McNeese, to be completely honest. I mean, they came back at the end, but I feel like the final score was not a tale of how that game was. And then North Carolina digging themselves in a big hole against Ole Miss, then pulling it back all the way to within a few, and Sean Padula just hit that absolute dagger. Completely just craziness. But that was a big result for me. I had UNC actually the Sweet 16, I think. Arizona looked great against Akron. That was one that I feel like a few people had with Arizona maybe not winning that game, but there was never a doubt. Duke, Cooper Flag, first game back. I mean, the first half starting off was extremely hot. But yeah, there has been a lot of really good showings. Alabama versus Robert Morris. That's another one. 90-81 Alabama win. But there for a little bit, it was scary. They had to pull Grant Nelson in, which he wasn't. I mean, he was available to play, but they weren't expecting him to play, especially if they got a big lead or anything but like that. But I mean, they were only up 4 points at halftime, which that was surprising. The offense was there, scored 90 points, but that defense, man, just struggles. And McNeese missing another free throw, already starting 1 for 3 so far in this game. This is going to be something that has to get fixed if they're going to get back into this game. There we go. All right. 2 for 4 so far for McNeese from the free throw line, 40%. Look at that. Amir McNeese's manager is sitting next to Spike Lee, who's sporting St. John's. I mean, this kid has become an absolute legend in the matter of a few weeks. I mean, signing multiple NIL deals. It's been so fun to watch. Smith, another three. Ooh, not the best shot. It was kind of a bad miss, but Purdue, another offensive board. This is something that McNeese did not struggle with against Clemson. They competed on the glass extremely well, but right now, Purdue seeming to get whatever they want. Oh, you got to get that Shumate. There you go. Here we go, Shumate. Foul on first. So what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to get together some stops, and then it's got to turn into buckets on the other end, though. It's probably not the worst foul for Purdue, to be completely honest. Stop the break on that one. Spike Lee and Amir sitting next to each other is fun. McNeese, no assists in the last 10 minutes. Playing a lot of individual ball, it seems. Wow, what a finish. What a finish, John Brown. That was impressive. That's what they need to do, though. I mean, get into the paint. That's where this Purdue team struggles. And McNeese has the athleticism where they can take guys one-on-one. Let's go. 27-14 Purdue. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Pull up. Shoemate was there right on him, and he just still... Pull up Parker mid-range. Nah. Man, another foul on McNeese. It's going to be 6. Kaufman-Ren's holding his face. Maybe his eyes, actually, but we'll see. So am I, Barry. At some point, it's got to happen, right? Like, I mean, obviously, the odds are not in your favor. I think it's like 9 quintillion or something like that of someone getting a perfect bracket. But at this point, with the way that my bracket has been shaping out, I'm definitely rooting for the perfect brackets as well. They pulled some pressure full court, but no one was there to try and cut off that next pass by Braden Smith. You can't get a foul here, though. Next foul puts, I mean, Purdue's in the bonus, so next foul, they're at the free throw line. Lawyer, deep 3. That was a travel. Yep. Good call. But Purdue getting up there and getting another offensive rebound first just can't come down with it. That's where McNeese had the biggest trouble, is limiting those offensive rebounds by Purdue. $30 to 14, 5.5 minutes left in this first half. Man, 1 field goal last 7 minutes. Oh my goodness, and an offensive foul on McNeese. Sincere Parker pushing Braden Smith down at least. Oh, there we go. Now offensive foul on Kaufman-Wren. Or is that on Braden Smith? Okay, yeah. Foul's on Braden Smith, not Kaufman-Wren. Braden Smith already at 4 turnovers. Oh my goodness. Oh. Now a foul on McNeese. Already up to 8 fouls. Purdue in the bonus. Kaufman-Wren going to the line. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Big Ten, 8-0 so far. Man, 14-31 already. I don't know how we're feeling about McNeese in the comeback already. It's looking a little rough so far. All right, here we go. McNeese. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Parker for 3. Shoemate trying to get in there and get a board, but knocks it out of bounds. But that's what they're going to have to do. I mean, they got to get scrappy like they were against Clemson. Force the turnovers, get the offensive rebounds, putbacks. I mean, that's kind of what they did all year in the Southland and absolutely dominated that conference. So, but winner of this one takes on either Houston or Gonzaga. That comes on later tonight. What a game that's going to be. I mean, one of the best second round matchups that we'll see, I think, at least. Another foul by McNeese. Braden Smith going to the line. Jeez. I know they want to play physical, try and get those turnovers, but I mean, when Purdue's in the bonus and obviously a decent shooting free throw team, yeah, that's just not needed. What are we trying to do, Ref? Trying to wipe the ball off or something? Oh, we got blood on the basketball. Oh man, it's all over that basketball. Braden Smith already up to 8 points. Looking really good so far besides the turnovers. Make that 9. I'm going to try and be the first person in double figures with this next free throw. So he hits this one. It's a 20-point game for Purdue. Man. 20-point lead. 4 minutes left in the first half. One field goal for McNeese in the last 8.5 minutes. See if they can try and get something here. Oh man, a turnover by McNeese. What a save though by Braden Smith. Oh, and another foul, Miles Colvin. Going to the line. Braden Smith, I mean, absolutely incredible save on that one. Just stealing it from Sincere Parker and then diving out of bounds. Save it to get it to Miles Colvin to start that break. And he's hype, man. He's trying to get the Boilermakers fans to get up too. I mean, they got a lot to celebrate. About 20 points already on the lead. But as I was mentioning, McNeese taking on the winner of Houston versus Gonzaga. Gonzaga, if you watch that game, they absolutely dominated as well. Looked really good in that first game that they had. That's just one of the things where it's like, I understand from the wins and the record and all that why they were in an 8 seed, but you're just penalizing a Houston team having to go up against a team like Gonzaga. That offense was incredible on Thursday, and I think we'll have to see if it continues. I know Mike White in Georgia, he was saying something about how he didn't know how they were an 8 seed, but Khalif Battle, March Madness debut, looked absolutely awesome. And the craziest thing about Gonzaga is it wasn't EK and Nembhard. It was Battle, it was Hickman, and kind of the rest of the team. I mean, EK and Nembhard played well, but they were not the key contributors in that one. And then, obviously, St. John's, as I mentioned earlier, they won by 30 points, but it was a close one. And Houston, they might have had one of the more dominant first-round games out of anybody, playing SIU Edwardsville. Won by 38, but they were up quick in that game. LJ Cryer putting the cherry on top, hitting the buzzer beater at the end of the first half. He looked good, shooting the ball pretty well. But honestly, it was a team effort. The one thing about Houston is if Francis and Arsenault play like that off the bench, both scoring in double figures, that's going to be really helpful for this Houston team who, I mean, if you remember last year, struggled because Jamal Shedd got hurt and they didn't have the most depth. But it looks like this year, the depth is a lot better. I mean, Malik Wilson, Arsenault, Javier Francis, and then you got a few other guys that they'll play a decent amount as well. I mean, they have a solid 8-man rotation and can go 9 or 10 deep if needed. But that starting 5 is really good. And then obviously you have Jawan Roberts, who just came back from injury. I don't think it's as serious as anyone thought or expected. From all the reports, it looked like he could have played in the Big 12 tournament. They were just holding him out based on a precaution. But let's see, getting back into this game. They're showing a graphic right now. Big Ten 8-0 so far in the NCAA tournament, looking like it's about to be 9-0 with Purdue. Big 12 6-1. Kansas, that lone loss. So that was frustrating for Big 12 fans, but obviously we get a good matchup with Arkansas and St. John's now, but I think it would have been just as good with Kansas, St. John's. Just legendary coaches right there in that pod. But right now, McNeese down 20. I mean, they've got to cut it to, you would think, 12 to 15 points right now before halftime if they want to give themselves any shot. But Purdue at the free throw line, 2 shots from Miles Colvin, hits the first. 35-14. He's got a second one. Let's see if he can hit that one. Make it 36-14 and a 22-point lead for the Purdue Boilermakers, and he does. 36-14. 4 minutes left. Shouldn't have any more media timeouts, so only stoppages will be timeouts by the coaches. Here we go. Copeland, top of the key. Got to get something going towards the rim. I feel like the shots aren't there. Good pass. Shoemate. There we go. Yeah, first bucket for Shoemate in this one. Great pass from Copeland. Honestly, just set the screen and then sealed the defender on the top side, so no one in between him and the basket. One of their first assists in a while for McNeese. Oh, Kaufman-Renn is battling down there. I can see another foul coming, but no foul, but good finish by Kaufman-Renn off the glass. A little turnaround jumper there. Kaufman-Renn putting up a pretty good game so far. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Copeland's got to get himself going. He had a pretty good game besides the free throws against Clemson, and there you go. Nice little finish by Copeland off the glass. He's up to 5 points. McNeese, back-to-back buckets. Now we just got to get some stops. Kaufman-Renn sitting in that paint for quite some time. Block him out. You got to get that board. There you go. Good board, Shoemate. Yeah, almost got what could have been a third foul for him. Missed the 3, but Shoemate, there we go. Offensive board. These are the things they need. Just got to get scrappy. Copeland. Good move. Pass. Man, another missed 3 for the McNeese Cowboys. Short on both of those attempts. Colvin for 3. Misses, but Lawyer gets an open 3. He misses. And Shoemate. Here we go. Shoemate's starting to get some boards. They need this. Pick and roll between Copeland and Shoemate. Garcia's got the ball. Just all these actions have Shoemate in them, and rightfully so. I mean, he was great. Against Clemson has been a pretty good contributor for them all season. Copeland for 3, no, but Shoemate gets the board. There we go. Offensive board. McNeese, that's what they've needed, and that's what they're getting out of Shoemate. Yeah, Purdue after the hot start, 11 for 15. They're just 2 for 11. But McNeese just can't hit anything to get going. Colvin, open 3. No. But Purdue coming up with the loose balls, man. And it's oh, there we go. No steal. Braden Smith gets the loose ball again. They call backcourt violation. I thought that was tipped by McNeese, to be completely honest, so I'm surprised by that call, but... Oh? Yeah, I don't think he had possession. So that's an interesting call. We'll see if they overturn. Refs are getting together to discuss. Will Wade looks frustrated on that call, but I get it. I mean, he didn't have possession. A tip pass from McNeese as well. Just unfortunate, but we'll see. Purdue has the ball, 36 seconds left in the first half. 38-20. McNeese really needs to get a stop here and then try and get a quick bucket. Maybe they can hit a 3 at the end to cut it to 15 and give themselves a chance, but we'll see. One thing about this NCAA tournament, and you forget about it and then you think about it every year, it's just they have so many ads and they're very long. Just want to get to the game. But that one was quick. Thank you, CBS. Yep. That's what I thought. Exactly what Gina mentioned. McNeese touches the ball, and it goes backcourt, and then Braden Smith gets possession of it. So should not have been a backcourt. And that was a delayed backcourt by that ref too. The official was a little late on that. I've noticed that a lot too. This tournament, with waiting to see kind of the outcomes of plays before making the call. Braden Smith misses the three. Koppelman almost gets the rebound, but McNeese is able to pull it down. Garcia has it. 20 seconds left. You got to think they're going to be taking last shot. Ooh, Purdue. Couple fouls to give, so Colvin honestly kind of wisely takes it. All right, 20 seconds left. Copeland has the ball near half court line. Looks like they are going to play for the last shot. Not sure Purdue might foul, but we'll see. No foul so far. Shoemate's got it. Takes it in on Koppelman. Tough turnaround jumper. Misses it short. Koppelman with the bucket. Tries the full court heave well after the buster, though. McNeese cheerleaders had to get out of the way, but 38-20 at half. Purdue over McNeese. Barry, I don't know if there's gonna be any upsets. I said this in one of my videos too. To be honest, my Elite Eight is extremely chalk. Like, I just feel like the top half of the sport right now is well above the rest, but you never know. I mean, the biggest ones we might have are like Drake over Texas Tech, which Texas Tech looked vulnerable against UNC Wilmington. That was not a gimme, which was pretty surprising to me. That was not one of the games on my radar. But obviously, it's the NCAA tournament. Anything can happen. But Drake, they handled Missouri for the most of that game. Missouri made their runs, but Drake was able to sustain them. And then Bennett Sturts looked absolutely amazing. Interested to see if Drake is able to get Tech to play their style of game, just like they were Missouri. Because Missouri, I mean, they had to slow their pace down a lot when playing Drake. Creighton, Auburn, another team that started off looking a little shaky in their first round matchup against 16 seed, but ended up being able to pull it off late. And Creighton, absolutely dominant against Louisville. If Creighton has Jemiah Neal playing like he did against Louisville, then Creighton definitely has a shot, I think, to upset. I don't necessarily think that's a 9 seed worthy team, to be completely honest, but I would consider that an upset with Auburn being the number 1 overall seed. So I could see that one happening. Gonzaga, Houston, maybe. I mean, Houston was absolutely dominant. I don't think there was any hesitancy there. I'm just wondering if Gonzaga's offense is going to be able to operate against Houston's defense. And if it does, do they have the defense to hold Houston? Because Houston has a pretty good offense this year as well. I think if I had to pick the one that was most likely to happen upset-wise, I think I'd pick Drake over Texas Tech, to be completely honest, or Creighton Auburn. I think Creighton Auburn is more likely than Gonzaga Houston. I loved what I saw from Creighton. I think Janiah Broome is going to get a real test against Ryan Kalkbrenner because, to be completely honest, SEC has some pretty good big dudes, but I don't think he's faced a defender like Kalkbrenner just yet, especially just with the size. And Kalkbrenner might obviously have to guard Dylan Cardwell, but when Cardwell's off the court, it's going to be Kalkbrenner on Janiah Broome. And I would hope Greg McDermott has him on Janiah Broome the entire game. So I think that's going to be an interesting one. If Kalkbrenner doesn't get in foul trouble, I think Creighton can pull off the upset. They shot the ball really well. I mean, it felt like everything they were putting up against Louisville was going in. So That would probably be the one that I think could happen. Do I have it in my bracket? No, obviously I have Auburn, but I'm excited for that game. 6 o'clock tip-off time and here in Central Time. I think that could be a really good game, and that's obviously when this slate really gets going. I feel like is later in the day. Right now, with the only the one game, makes you feel a little spoiled yesterday with the constant action, but we'll see. So Barry, if I had to pick, I think Creighton over Auburn or Drake over Texas Tech are probably the two most likely upsets, but I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll have to see. Very interested to hear from you. Do you have any upsets that you think are going to happen, or are there any that you're cheering for? Because I think we're both in agreement. I don't think McNeese is going to be pulling off the one against Purdue, which I was really hoping would happen, but they've looked absolutely dominant. But is there anybody that you're looking at that you think might be able to pull off the upset today? Also, for those of you that are watching, there's just come a ton of spam in the chat. So I mean, this is only my second live stream. So if you have any tips on how to get these removed, please let me know in the chat. Oh, that's right, Barry. You don't want the upsets. I don't think any. I mean, when I say likely, or the most likely, I don't necessarily think they're extremely likely, but with the way teams have played recently, those are the only thoughts. I mean, Michigan A&M 4-5 matchup. I'm assuming brackets have it both ways, but yeah, I would assume brackets mainly have the top seeds. So we shall see. This one right here with Purdue beating McNeese, that's going to help, obviously. But going back to that Creighton Auburn game, I am extremely excited for the Kalkbrenner Giant Broom matchup, obviously, but I'm also excited to see Stephen Ashworth going up against some of these Auburn defenders from the guard spot. I think Denver Jones on Stephen Ashworth is going to be interesting to watch. Denver Jones might slide over against Jemiah Neal with the way he played. I think that could be a really good matchup, but I think that's going to be a great game. Auburn's favored by 8.5, which seems a little high to me, but we'll see. Wisconsin, BYU. I think a lot of people were high on BYU. I was initially, but I held off because I had the VCU run, but because I took VCU to the Sweet 16, which BYU handled them, to be completely honest. But I agree. I think a lot of people are high on BYU, so I wouldn't be surprised if BYU beat Wisconsin. Their offense looked really well. They were kind of firing on all cylinders against VCU. Wisconsin had a pretty good game. There were some teams that got off to a slow start, but that's just nerves in the tournament, I think. So they played well and ended up obviously winning by a very, very comfortable margin. Iowa State matchup is another pretty big toss-up, but for them having the Keyshawn Gilbert injury, Lipscomb gave them no problems whatsoever. And that was actually an upset that some people were talking about, just with the way that Lipscomb plays compared to Iowa State and the Keyshawn Gilbert injury and the way that they've kind of played recently. But it proved to not be a factor whatsoever. I think it could show its head a little more when they face up against Ole Miss. But honestly, with the way that Ole Miss and the North Carolina game went, I'm thinking Iowa State's going to make it to the Sweet 16 this year. Past that, though, I'm not 100% sure because they'd be going up against, I believe, Michigan State. And Michigan State, I mean, they didn't have a comfortable win against Bryant either. So, but I think Michigan State, if they got to the Sweet 16 against Iowa State, that's who I would be picking to win, was Michigan State for sure. But I agree. Those are two of the biggest toss-ups. Oregon, Arizona, I also think is a toss-up, as well as Kentucky, Illinois. Oregon, Arizona, both teams looked great in their first games. No troubles in their first round matchups. Arizona, the big thing was Caleb Love didn't have to do too much, and it was pretty much a team effort. Jaden Bradley looked really good, and then Oregon with Jackson Chelsad and Nate Biddle just absolutely looked phenomenal in their first round game. So I think that could be a pretty good matchup in the second round that we see tomorrow. And then Illinois, Kentucky. Illinois, Will Riley was on a heater in that first round game that Illinois had against Xavier. He looked great. Kasper Siakashonis needed one more rebound to get a triple-double. So he looked good as well. Kentucky facing off against, I believe, Troy first round. They did good. Otega Owe obviously was the big name for them. So I'm interested to see without Jackson Robinson, without Kerr Kriisa, which that one's not as big. They haven't had him for a while. But without Jackson Robinson, I'm just interested to see what this team can do in March. UConn kept the three-peat alive last night in their win over Oklahoma. And if you didn't watch that game and you haven't watched Jeremiah Fears at all, I mean, that guy, he is absolutely incredible. I don't necessarily want to say he is going to be this, but like the speed and athleticism that he plays at just reminds me of a Russell Westbrook type player. So fast on the court with the ball, can get by anybody, and they're blow-bys. Like, it's not just like the guys on your hip. I mean, he can break you down at the three-point line and have a step or two on you by the time he gets to the rim is absolutely incredible. I'm excited to see what he can do in the NBA. So I'll be tuning into the Summer League, obviously, and we'll have a lot of content centered around that. But yeah, he was absolutely phenomenal. But Alex Karabin, the back-to-back national champion with UConn, really showed his experience at the end of that game. Clutch three and floater to put it away for the Huskies. That was a really good game for them, but they'll take on a Florida team that looked just absolutely dominant. For the most part, the one seeds looked really dominant this season. Obviously throughout the season, but in the tournament in the first round, they looked great. Barry, let me know, who did you have as your champion? I'm interested to see, like, is your bracket alive at all, or are you just completely out of it? I made a few brackets, but in my main it was Duke, and then obviously I also have another one that was Florida, so those are two obviously really chalk, but I'm thinking with the way that they played, I think it's going to be a big one. I agree. Barry, I think the committee really made a lot of tough second round matchups for these one seeds. There's not many that are looking easy. I mean, Florida has to play UConn first round or second round. That's going to be a tough one. As I mentioned earlier, the Houston Gonzaga one could be really tough. In all the predictive metrics, Gonzaga looks like a top 10 team, and they're an 8 seed. So that's not going to be an easy one. Then you have Auburn taking on a Creighton team that looked great, made it all the way to the Big East tournament game, championship game, where they lost to St. John's. And then Duke plays Baylor, which that probably is the easiest one, but I don't necessarily think easy is the right word, because you got a Baylor team that is led by VJ Edgecombe, who's going to be a lottery pick in the upcoming NBA draft. And he has been inconsistent, but when that guy is on, he is incredible. The athleticism that he has. If anybody was watching that game for Baylor yesterday, when he went up and drove down the lane and tried to throw down that one-handed jam, I mean, that might have like broken the glass type thing. It was incredible. Obviously, he missed it, but Baylor able to hold on and win that one. So that's still going to be a fun matchup. We see Jeremy Roach take on his former team in the Duke Blue Devils as well. Champion Arizona Wildcats, a sleeper to win it. All we have, number one seed talent. Locos forever. Hey, Arizona Wildcats. They looked really good, Champy. I'm not gonna lie. Everyone, and even myself included, I get a little nervous with Arizona and Tommy Lloyd just because of recency, and that's just a bias for me for their recency in the tournament. I feel like I have to get it out of my head, and it's really hard to see that happen. But they did look really good. The thing that's gonna win them some games or lose them some games, and we say it every year, no matter what team is on, is Caleb Love. Yesterday, he had a very quiet game. They didn't need anything from him, which is nice whenever obviously you can win a game that comfortably, 93-65. But even in a game like that, when he didn't score much, it was nice that he wasn't forcing anything. I mean, he was 4 for 9, so didn't chunk up 20 shots and only make 4, right? So he was pretty efficient. 4 for 9, 2 for 4 from 3, so pretty good on that end as well. I agree. I think they have a lot of talent, and they have been slept on a little bit. The start of the season was rough for them, but honestly, after that 4-5 start, they've looked great throughout the season. Trey Townsend was a very good transfer from Oakland that they brought in. Anthony Del Orso they brought in. And then I really like Caleb Love, Jaden Bradley. Carter Bryant, he had a pretty big game as well. He is one that hasn't been talked about that much. And then KJ Lewis, I liked him as well. I agree. Arizona's pretty deep. I think 8 deep, to be completely honest. They had 8 guys go for 20 plus in that one. I like Arizona. I think they can make a run. I should have Arizona beating Oregon in their next matchup. But then obviously they have to take on Duke, which Duke playing Jeremy Roach this matchup, and then next matchup, if Arizona wins and Duke wins, they take on Arizona and Duke, where we see Caleb Love going back up against Duke Blue Devils, former rival when he was with the Tar Heels. That would be a very fun game to watch. But yeah, I agree. As I mentioned, Carter Bryant and then Vasar. That's right. Vasar, the big man. He has been good. I'm interested to see if they keep the same rotation or if they're going to change it up a little bit. I think Vasar, if they play Duke champion, I think Vasar would be a very key piece for them, for the big purpose of the size that Duke brings, right? You can run Vasar against Malawach, and that can try and neutralize them a little bit there. And then they have a lot of good pieces as well. The guard battle, Caleb Love versus Tyrese Proctor would be fun to watch as well. I agree. I mean, if Arizona gets by Duke, they have a pretty good path to the Final Four. I think the East region might be one of the weaker regions, but honestly, like, every region is just stacked because it's the NCAA tournament. But I agree. I think Arizona has a shot, Champy. I like it. Barry, you have the Florida Gators winning it all. It was hard to get away from Florida or Duke, I think, in this one. And that's a struggle for me because I really don't like being that chalk, but I mean, they have just had even historically great seasons this year. Duke, the main factors that we have for them not winning a title would be the Cooper Flag injury and if they are just not experienced enough. But I really think Shire addressed that this season in the transfer portal when he brought in guys like Sion James or Mason Gillis, who played in a national championship last year, Malik Brown, which that could be a key piece for Duke. We'll have to see if they get him back. I'm assuming it wouldn't be until second weekend, Sweet 16, that he would show himself if they did, but we'll have to see. But it was hard to get away from them. And then Florida, man, I was really high on Florida. I actually had predicted that Florida was going to be the first team to beat Auburn in the SEC. And obviously that happened. I mean, and then when you have wins against Florida, or when you have wins against Auburn, Alabama, and Tennessee, they have some of, if not the best wins by a team this year in all of college basketball. So it was hard. that trio in the front court of Elijah Martin, Will Richard, and Walter Clayton is incredible. And then you got Alex Condon and the other guys down there in the front court, and then in the back court, the trio of guards. It was hard to get away from both of them. I agree. Yeah, that's tough. Champy Krivas not in for Arizona. I wonder and can only imagine how much better they would be with him. But this team still has a shot. I really like Tommy Lloyd as a coach. I just think it's really hard in my mind to get past how they've been in the past couple of tournaments. And I know that's on me. I need to get past that. Because I do really like Tommy Lloyd. I like Tommy Lloyd when he's at Gonzaga. He was a key piece in growing that program. And then what he's done at Arizona, at least in the regular season, all he's done is won. So I think Arizona has got a really good shot. But Oregon's going to be a tough matchup for them, just in the likes of Jackson Shellstad, Nate Biddle, TJ Bamba. They got a really, really good team. And then Dana Altman in March, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but the statistic that came up with how Oregon has like the most wins in March under Dana Altman since 2010 out of any school compared. It was like they have more than Duke, Kentucky, and North Carolina. I think it was 76 compared to like 74 and 73 for the other ones. So Oregon's good. I don't think it's just a shoe-in that Arizona's going to win that game. I think Arizona's going to win that game. They definitely should win that game, in my opinion. They got more talent than the Ducks, I think, but it can still be a good game. I think it's going to be a close one. But I agree. I think Arizona is a sleeper, and they do have winning it all is a little tough for me to say, but I definitely think Arizona has the capability to make it to a Final Four. And if you make it to the Final Four, why don't you go win the thing, right? So I like that. Champy, I'm assuming Arizona's the team you have winning it all, and I'm assuming that's kind of your team. If y'all are wondering, my team is the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and we're not even in the tournament, so that's a little bit of a rough one. Playing in the NIT though, big game against SMU, but obviously when the NCAA tournament goes on, like who cares at this point? So looks like we're about to get going for the second half of Purdue versus McNeese. Obviously, as I mentioned at half, it's 38-20 McNeese in this one. You don't know about winning it all, but is my team. Hey, at least your team's in it and you got someone to root for, right? And obviously, as long as they're in it, they always got a chance. So, but I'm with you on the talent though. You do have very, very good talent, 1 or 2 seed talent. I would say, in anybody in the country. There's a lot of pieces. I mean, going 8 deep of guys that can play 20 plus minutes, and honestly, all 8 of those could start at a lot of different schools. Goes to show Tommy Lloyd, great recruiter, and then obviously now with the transfer portal and NIL, he's got a lot of talent and bringing in good pieces there as well. McNeese getting a big bucket to start us off in the second half, and one from Copeland, but can't hit the free throw. McNeese is going to have to hit these free throws, man. It is tough to watch with McNeese and how they've been shooting from the free throw line. But there we go, 38-22. Can they get a few stops, get a few buckets in a row? I mean, 2 stops and 2 threes, and it's a 10-point game. But Lawyer, right on cue as I'm saying that, hits a big 3-pointer just to take it back to 19 points for the Boilermakers. Boilermakers shooting well from 3, 7 for 17. So there you go. Copeland gets to the rim, but it's not able to finish around Kaufman rim. Purdue's got numbers. Lawyer, oh my gosh, that is way too easy. Just gets to the middle of the paint, little floater, no one there to even contest. (43-22), Purdue up by over 20. Garcia with the 3, and he cashes it. There we go. McNeese hits a 3. 43-25. McNeese starting well on the offensive end in the second half, but got to string together some stops. Oh no, don't foul. No foul. Good block. Great block, Garcia. 2.5 seconds left on the shot clock for Purdue. I thought First was gonna get Shoemate there with the foul. He got him up in the air, but didn't jump into him. So Purdue now 2.5 seconds. Lob it up to. Oh my goodness! How do you let that happen? Smith lobs it up to first off of the inbounds, and McNeese just with the absolute push in the back. Didn't look as bad on the replay, if I'm being completely honest, but go ahead and chalk up one foul for McNeese within the first 2 minutes here in the second half. They're going to have to limit the fouls. They got to play another good round of defense for 20 seconds. Kick ball, McNeese. Smith, ball near half court line. Kaufman ring coming out to set the screen. Oh, that's a travel. That's got to be something, ref. Oh my goodness. Kaufman Wren just moved from the free throw line to the middle of the paint in a tie-up between Kaufman Wren and Copeland. That had to be a foul or a travel or something. I mean, they eventually called a jump ball, but it seemed like there was a lot of movement and grabbing before. That's another jump. Great call. Back-to-back jump balls forced by the Cowboys. $54 seconds on that possession. McNeese has got to obviously secure rebounds, but in that one, just not foul. Good move, Copeland. Man, can't finish up the rim, but gets the foul call on Purdue. That's what they need to do. Purdue, as I mentioned earlier, they struggle to defend inside the paint. One of the worst 2-point defensive percentages in the nation. McNeese just needs to use their athleticism and shiftiness and just go downhill. Force them to get fouls and try and get people some foul troubles. If they can get Kaufman Wren in foul trouble, that would be huge, but obviously he's only got one foul right now. Copeland misses another free throw. The free throw line has just been horrible for McNeese. Absolutely awful. And he misses another one. McNeese, 2 for 7 from the free throw line. I mean, Purdue, 6 for 6. McNeese hits those as a 13-point game. And then Copeland, who just missed 2 free throws, fouls Cox on the 3-point shot. That's a horrible foul. Just gets in the defenders or the shooter's area. I mean, foot right under the legs of Cox on that one. And this is how you make free throws. Cox made the first 2. Can he make the third one? Yes, he can. 3 for 3 for Cox from the free throw line. It's back to a 21-point game. got Garcia. Uses Shoemate's screen. Shoemate gets the ball. Oh my gosh, turnover. Braden Smith, great hands to get that out of Shoemate's hands. Braden Smith bringing it down the court for Purdue. Caleb First, wide open layup. Missed the bunny. Garcia with the 3. There we go. 28-46, 18-point game. That's where McNeese just got a D up. Three of 4 this half. Few turnovers and missed free throws. I mean, they could have a lot more points. Cop and Wren, that's way too easy. Way too easy. 20-point game again. Copeland just runs over Braden Smith. Phenomenal defensive effort there. Just giving up his body by Smith. Yeah, that was way easy. Smith is set. Copeland lowers the shoulder. Copeland doesn't know what happened, but man, he's already got 4 fouls, 7 points. Copeland's a great player, man, but the free throws are an issue, and sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get. Let's see if McNeese can do something with him on the bench. Shoemate tries to block Kaufman rim, but another foul. Will Wade gets the technical. Couldn't see it on the broadcast what exactly he did, but I'm sure he's just yelling at the refs. And I understand trying to get a technical to ignite your team, but 20-point deficit, I don't think this is the time, to be completely honest. So that's something we saw from Pat Kelsey yesterday. He got a technical, which I thought was a little weak, but when your team's trying to come back, technical can be very costly. (48-28) in the second half. McNeese has scored 8. Purdue has scored 10. So closer in the second half. Big things from this game are missed free throws, which obviously that's not the story. They have missed 5. They're 2 for 7, but that's not going to cut a 15-point lead. They got a lot of turnovers, though, McNeese does. Just a lot of unforced errors as well. 8 turnovers for McNeese. Purdue has 7, so that's not that much of a difference. But the fouls, McNeese 16 team fouls compared to 17 fouls for Purdue. Purdue 9 for 9 from the free throw line. I mean, the 5 missed free throws by McNeese and 9 free throws, 14-point difference right there. And then Purdue's shooting the lights out of it, 40+% from 3-point range, where McNeese is just 30%, 4 for 14. Rebounding numbers, Purdue absolutely dominating the boards, 26 points to 13 points for, or 26 rebounds compared to 13 rebounds for McNeese. Just a lot of things that are not going McNeese's way, and right now Purdue looks like they might cover. They have a 6.5 line. At least that's what ESPN's saying. So we'll see if Purdue's able to hang on. McNeese, hopefully they can try and mount a comeback, but a little less than 16 minutes left in the game could get to be a story of not enough time for the Cowboys. Oh, here we go. This is what happened. So Will Wade got the tech, but Shoemate yelling at the refs. Oh, Shoemate got a technical as well. So you got technical on Will Wade and Shoemate. So 4 free throws for the Boilermakers in this one. Let's see. Fletcher Lawyer, 4 free throws. Is he going to make all 4? Will Purdue get their first missed free throw of the game? Makes the first. Makes the second. Oh, misses the first one off the front of the rim. And makes 3 of 4. And then they get 2 more free throws because Kaufman-Renn got fouled by Shoemate at the end of that. So Kaufman-Renn now going to the line for 2. This could put Purdue up by 24, 25. He makes the first one. And he makes the second one. 25-point lead for Purdue. I've got to believe, largest lead of the day. If McNeese is going to do anything, it's going to have to start now. Oh, my goodness. And turnover off of Brown's foot. Just dribbles it off the foot. Flies out of there. 9th turnover for the Cowboys. Not even really forced by Purdue. Just... Oh, there you go. Turnover by Braden Smith. McNeese gets to the rim. Cannot finish the easy one. Shoemate gets the rebound, though, over Heidi. Could have been an over-the-back call, to be completely honest, but then gets the rebound, puts it up, gets fouled, misses the shot, though. So 2 free throws for Shoemate. And Shoemate misses the first free throw. I think that's 2 for 8 for McNeese now. Misses the next one. 2 for 9 from the free throw line. 0 for 5 in the second half. That's just not going to help you win basketball games. Lawyer, wide open 3. Misses. That's big. McNeese needs a bucket here. There you go. Easy layup. Gets to the rim. Brown. McNeese bringing out the 3-quarter court pressure. Got to at this point. They got to speed the game up and hopefully turn Braden Smith and the Boilermakers over like they did last time. Shot clock's down to 2 seconds. Smith launches a deep 3, air ball. McNeese actually shooting better than Purdue in this one. 4 for 6 from the field compared to 3 for 7 for Purdue. But Purdue's just got a ton of free throws. Oh my goodness. Kaufman-Renn. Great block shot. Braden Smith, another turnover. Bad pass to Fletcher Lawyer. A little too low. Not able to corral it. Goes out of bounds. Back to McNeese. They're getting what they need. They just have to capitalize on it. That's the biggest thing. Just off the glass block from Kaufman-Renn there on that last possession, though. Murray's got the smaller Smith on him. He needs to go. Launches it over him, back rim. What a athletic putback. Catches it in one hand, throws it off the glass. First hit bucket for Murray. Oh, there you go. Offensive foul, Braden Smith. Brown just making it a little annoying for Smith, I mean, he's getting up on him full court, not giving him any breathing room. And then Smith gives him a little arm, and Brown sells it, falling back. Oh my goodness. Easy look for McNeese. Just misses the easy layup. Could have cut it to less than 20. They've got to start chipping away now. I mean, 13 minutes left. They're getting the turnovers and the stops that they need, but great hands. Great hands. Purdue only one field goal in the last 5.5 minutes, so McNeese getting the stops they need, but it's just not enough right now. Another foul on McNeese. That's their 7th foul. Purdue's already in the bonus. 13 minutes left in the second half. One and one for Trey Kaufman-Wren. See if they can add more points off the free throw line. And Kaufman-Wren misses. McNeese gets the ball back, pushing some tempo. Sincere Parker for 3, swishes it. There we go. 18-point game. Hey, McNeese giving some noise. I mean, they're trying. Oh, Colvin, does he turn it over? Lawyer was trying to call a timeout, but... Oh, Heidi, turnover. McNeese going back the other way. Sincere Parker, step back. Nope. Misses it. That was a pretty good shot, though. Had a good look at it. McNeese on their own little 7-0 run. Cuts it less than 20. 18-point game right now. 53-35. Lawyer, wide open 3. No, in and out. Go, yeah. I like the tempo for McNeese. They just got to keep going. They need to go, penetrate. They don't have anything. Kick it out for the 3. That's a 3. I don't know if that's the best shot there. Charles misses the 3-pointer. Purdue, no points in the last 4 minutes. Next foul is going to be a media timeout. Purdue kind of needs that, to be completely honest. Colvin misses the 3. McNeese gets the ball back, heading the other way. Parker pushing tempo. There you go. Penetrate. Get to the rim. Oh, Murray and 1. Cuts it to 16 points. Could be 15 with the 3-point play. He's got to make free throws, though. Man, that was tough. What a tough finish. Oh, yeah, Amir. Yeah, he's into it, man. He is into it. McNeese, a little life. They got 11 minutes left. 16-point deficit. We'll have a shot at the free throw line. Make that 15-point game. I mean, crazier things have happened. It's March. Anything could happen. McNeese could definitely come back. I think the pressure is really really hurting Purdue right now. They have turned the ball over a lot recently. Up to 12 turnovers, got more than McNeese now. I think they were at 7 at halftime, so already 5 turnovers in the second half at least. And it feels like it's just been like back-to-back plays of turnovers. But they have been getting those wide open threes. That's one thing. They just haven't hit them. Colvin's missed a couple. Lawyer's missed a couple. So if they're not turning the ball over, they are getting decent shots in the half court. They're just not hitting them. So McNeese is going to need that trend to continue, and then obviously continue to force the turnovers. One thing that's happened with these turnovers, though, is like McNeese isn't getting out on the run. Purdue is getting back. So McNeese only has 3 points off turnovers. So 12 turnovers for the Boilermakers and only 3 points off turnovers, which is interesting. So hopefully that can change for the Cowboys and they can actually push the tempo and get out on the break when they force these steals. But I would assume that this full court, 3/4 court pressure is going to continue. That's actually given Purdue some trouble, which Clemson did this same exact thing to McNeese. I mean, they were down big in the second half still, and then just waited a little too long to get to this pressure, and it hurt McNeese. And we're seeing the same thing. McNeese is doing it right back to Purdue in this next game. So let's see if they can hold on and actually turn the tide a little bit. (53-37), 11 minutes left currently in our media timeout commercial break. Purdue led by as much as 25, so McNeese cut the lead by 9 so far. Chance at the free throw line to cut it by 10. And Purdue struggling to score. I mean, 14 of 16 from the free throw line, so when they get to the free throw line, that's helping a lot, but it's just not been happening whenever they haven't been able to get to the free throw line. Purdue only has 4 points in the paint in the second half. That was a key thing in the first half. They were getting whatever they wanted there, it seemed like. Wow, crazy stat. Last 18 minutes and 30 seconds of game time, they have 5 field goals and like 11 turnovers. The Purdue Boilermakers, that is. But misses another free throw. This McNeese team is shooting 20% from the free throw line, 2 for 10. Forcing Purdue to take a lot of time on the shot clock, but they got an open 3. Like I had mentioned, when they get in this half-court offense, McNeese is just pressuring so much. Purdue's moving the ball around, and they've been getting open 3s, just haven't been hitting them. But CJ Cox hits one. Gets it back to a 19-point game. Murray wants to take this, man. Every single time he gets it in the mid-range, he's going. Forces another foul call. Gets to the free throw line. Purdue's already at 6, so both teams will be in the bonus going forward, but this has not proved to be a good spot for McNeese. Again, 2 for 10, 20% so far in this game for shooting free throws. Let's see if he can hit these. He had Murray, big one in the Clemson game. He had 21 points in that first game. There we go. Hit their first free throw in a while. Brandon Murray. Can we get McNeese? First time they go 2 for 2 on the day if he hits it. And he does. There we go, Murray. Back to 17 points. Still picking up. Full court. Once they get past half court, though, you just got to play solid. No fouls. No foul. Man, forces Braden Smith all the way to the half court line. Almost gets a turnover, to be honest. But Colvin, man, that's exactly what you want if you're Purdue. Take all the time off the shot clock and then get it down to Trey Kaufman for an easy bucket and one. He just sealed his defender. That dude had no shot besides just blocking it and hits him with the body. Kaufman had a big day so far, already up to a double-double, 14 and 11 in the game. There we go. Kaufman hits the free throw, and it's back to 20. Copeland's still on the bench with those 4 fouls. At some point, though, you kind of just got to risk it, I feel like, if there's any shot. I mean, you're running out of time, less than 10 minutes now, 20-point deficit. Good pass to Shoemate. That was a great pass from Murray to Shoemate. Gets into the paint, gets the defender to help, and finds Shoemate under the basket for the easy 2. Good defense. Can't get the rebound, but gets the rebound off the missed 3. Murray pushing it a little bit. That's what you need. He's just go. Yeah, get into the paint. Oh, loses his footing. Oh, call the jump ball. Possession arrow going to Purdue. What are we thinking, Chad? Do we think they have a shot at coming back at all? 18-point game, 9 minutes left. I just don't know if they can string together enough scoring possessions. I mean, the defense has picked up and has looked very good in the second half, but that offense just, you get 1 bucket and then 3 empty trips, and then, as I mentioned, half-court offense, man. They're pressing up so much and bringing a second defender, McNeese, that Purdue, they just find the open guy, get an open 3, and they hit it. Murray drives in the paint. Good kick out to Garcia. Wide open 3. Nails it. Right back at Purdue with the 3. Yeah, 8:15 left in this game. 18 points. 62-44 at the media timeout. It's an even 24-24 in the second half for scoring between the two teams. Honestly, without all the free throws that Purdue got, McNeese is actually having the better half. It's just 2 technical fouls, a ton of fouls still. Purdue is already in the bonus at 14 minutes left in the second half. Hasn't hurt them as bad as I thought it would, but it has proved to hurt at least the comeback. They're not letting them extend the game at all with the lead, but the comeback has been struggling a little bit with all these fouls that McNeese already has. Also, you got to keep Copeland on the bench, which has been a little bit of an issue for McNeese. Garcia actually having a nice little game, 4 for 4 from the 3-point line. He's been a real bright spot for this McNeese team. Murray's brought on some offense recently, which has helped. And then Shoemate, he's 6 points, 9 rebounds. I mean, this guy is just gets dirty on every possession. Gotta love when you have a guy like that on your team, but Purdue, almost all of the starters are in double figures. Kaufman leads everybody with 15. Then you got CJ Cox and Lawyer both at 11, Braden Smith at 10. First, though, 2 points, but obviously he's just kind of the do whatever you need glue guy in that starting lineup, not really out there to be the main scorer contributor. But Braden Smith, he struggled a bit with this McNeese pressure. 7 turnovers for Smith, which one of the best point guards in the nation, and McNeese has been able to turn him over. Also, he has the ball in his hand a ton, so more opportunity to turn the ball over, but the 3-point shooting has been big for Purdue. 39% from 3 so far this game. And it's been everybody. Cox, Lawyer. Smith has hit a couple. Coleman's hit a couple as well. Full court pressure still by McNeese. Barely get the ball into Braden Smith. Some of these McNeese guys seem to get caught watching, and they don't rotate with their defender, which is what gets these wide open threes. As Colvin hits another wide open 3. It's like McNeese is switching without a screen. If your guy runs past their guy, it's a switch from McNeese, and there's not good communication on that. Murray's got Smith there in the paint again, takes it, but not the best shot, falling away. Didn't really go up strong. Yes, Smith and Purdue up 15 on the glass. Lawyer takes the pull up, not able to get it to go. Kaufman Ring gets the rebound with 4 McNeese defenders all around him. He somehow gets that rebound. And now we're at the under 8 timeout. Man, just back-to-back timeouts on that one. Late one in the first media one, and early one in the second. So we got a 65-44 lead for Purdue, up 21 points with less than 8 minutes to go, right around 7 minutes on the game. Free throw shooting and fouls are the big 2 key pieces right now for McNeese. Not shooting well from the free throw line when Purdue is, and then they've got a ton of fouls, 19 already compared to Purdue's 11. And Purdue wasn't really fouling all that much in the first half. Second half has been a bit of a different story here for the Boilermakers on the foul count. Let's see if they're able to do anything. I mean, 7 minutes. You're at the point where you're running out of time. Just not going to be enough time left, to be completely honest. What's Purdue? Purdue now up to 42% from the 3-point line. 10 for 24. They have 6 different players that have hit a 3. 5 different players that have hit a free throw. Only missed 2, 15 for 17, 88% there. They've missed a lot of easy ones, mainly Fletcher Lawyer, 3 of 11 in this game. So they're only shooting 43.5% from the field, but all in all, been a pretty impressive game for Purdue. The turnovers have been the biggest issues. They have 12 blocks. 12 blocks. Oh, sorry, that's 12 turnovers, 1 block. I was like, that's incredible. 12 turnovers, 11 personal fouls for Purdue. Yeah, I think Trey Kaufman-Renn has definitely been the MVP for Purdue this game. 15 and 14 so far. Also added in three assists, a steal, and a block. Only 1 foul. He's at the line shooting 2 right now to extend this lead. Misses the first one. Let's see if he can hit the second. Hits the second. All right, 22-point lead, 7 minutes left. If McNeese is going to do anything, it's got to start now. At this point, they might be out of time, but you got to be quick. Quick offense possessions that are effective in scoring. Another pass to Garcia. He had a look at it, but didn't take it. Kicks it out to Parker for 3. All right, he hits it. Less than 20-point game. 19-point differential between the two. Parker's had a decent game. 4 for 9, 2 threes, 10 points. Oh my goodness. Murray just leaves Fletcher Lawyer. Another wide open 3. This McNeese team is just getting lost in the half-court defense. Right back up to a 22-point game. Parker pulls another 3 in and out. Close one. If Purdue gets another bucket or 2, it might already be over, but another bucket or 2, and it's over. Oh, Kaufman-Renn, an easy, wide open layup off the seal. 71-47, 24 points. I just think it might be a little too late for the Cowboys. They just airballed a 3, saved it, but it went to Purdue. Purdue trying to bring 2 to the ball. They find Kaufman-Renn again. Another bucket. He's up to 20 now. 20 and 14. What a game from Kaufman-Renn. Pretty good defensively, too. Only 1 foul. Been able to affect some shots, making it tough down there near the basket for McNeese. If I'm Purdue, I'm taking 20 to 25 seconds at least on every single possession. Oh, offensive foul on Kaufman-Renn. Copeland selling it a little bit for McNeese. Yeah, Purdue up to 11 3-pointers. It's been a very good day shooting the ball for them from behind the arc. Garcia finds Parker. Layup. That was a very good baseline drive for Sincere Parker. Ooh, almost forced the turnover. Oh, get up, Copeland. They got him to like 7 seconds. Oh, they did force a turn. No. Force a jump ball. Possession error to McNeese. I think we'll be going to the final media timeout now. Less than 4 minutes, down 24 points. Probably not enough time for the McNeese Cowboys in this one. Hoping game 2 is a little bit better than game 1. This has just been a great game for the Purdue Boilermakers, not so much for the McNeese Cowboys. Yeah, Trey Kaufman-Rim, what a game. 7 for 12, 20 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists. Has done it all for the Purdue Boilermakers. He's got 4 offensive rebounds as well. Just a great game from TKR. Definitely the best player on the court, best for Purdue, and has been good in the past 2 games, to be honest. Do we think McNeese has a shot in their Sweet 16 matchup? Houston or Gonzaga? I think Purdue could be a pretty good game. Houston, I think they're going to give Purdue issues. But I mean, Purdue hasn't been tested all that much. I mean, High Point played them close a little bit, but ended up winning by 12 in that one. This one, up by 24 right now. Hoping McNeese can cut it a little bit, make it a little more respectable, and end on a decent note. But even if they do lose, McNeese, like, what a game! What a game! First round against Clemson, just came out and absolutely blitzed them. Clemson didn't even know what to think in that first half. Fantastic job for McNeese, and honestly, a great season, great time for Will Wade and McNeese State. Will Wade going on to NC State, I believe, after this one. But hey, AM1. Now it's 52-73. McNeese gets the steal. And a dunk. 54-73, less than 20 points. Oh, yeah, you got a foul. That is on that's got to be on Copeland. Okay, they gave it to the other one that was behind him. Lawyer at the free throw line, Purdue's in the double bonus, hits the first. Misses the second, so 20-point lead. Oh, he had him if he cut to the rim. Parker, turn around, mid-range jumper from the free throw line, misses. Purdue, another wide open three, but that misses, surprisingly. Seems like they hit them all. They got numbers. Copeland gets, oh my gosh, hold the ball. Wide open at the three-point line. St. John's fans in the building ready for the second round matchup. Unfortunately, our first one hasn't been the best, but hopefully the second one will be a little better. Copeland, step back three, misses it. Offensive board for McNeese. Finishes at 18 points. 2 minutes left, though. Just don't have enough time. They're still playing hard, though, so you got to admire that. Koppen-Wren, another foul. Will Wade, last game with the Cowboys. Great couple of seasons there. Rightfully deserves to go to NC State, in my opinion. And it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do in the ACC. Obviously in North Carolina there with UNC and Duke. So if he's able to compete with those guys. But gave us a great game in the first round, obviously. An official review, 2 minutes left. I mean, it was a hard foul on Trey Koppen-Wren, but I don't think we need this. So Will Wade going straight to NC State after this. Portal opens on Monday, so makes sense, but would have been interesting if McNeese was able to win this game and goes into the next week and what that would have looked like for Will Wade this next week. But obviously, Purdue moving on, going to play either Houston or Gonzaga in their Sweet 16 matchup. Okay, upgraded to flagrant 1. Purdue gets 2 shots and the ball. Koppen-Wren at the line, shooting 2, makes the first. Makes the second. 20-point game. Kind of what this game and second half has been. McNeese making a little bit of a run, but every single time they get within 15, Purdue would just push it back out. Copeland out, fouled out, 9 points. Great season for him. Honestly, a really good game in the first round against Clemson. But Purdue's just a little too much for McNeese to handle, it looks like. Oh, great steal from Javon Garcia. Intercepting that pass from Miles Colvin. Gets it to Parker, takes it into the lane. Tough finish by Garcia. They're still fighting, man. Full court press. Oh, it looks like another turnover for Purdue. Drives baseline, another layup. 60-76. Looks like Will Waite's going to empty the bench, though. Get in his subs. Purdue, 17 turnovers in that one. That's got to be a little nerve-wracking going into this next game, especially if they play a team like Houston that can very easily turn you over. Gonzaga on the other end. Not a horrible defense, but definitely not the defense that Houston has. Oh, another turnover. McNeese forces it. Gets a dunk. Gets it to 14. I mean, obviously, too little too late, but going to make it look a lot closer than what this game actually has been, it seems. I mean, Purdue still has the starters in. They were not emptying their bench like McNeese was. Oh, gets the little jumper, but misses it. McNeese with the rebound. 38 seconds left. Oh, my goodness. Purdue going to win 6th consecutive second round game, they just said on the broadcast, which is impressive. Obviously, besides that, Riley, I agree. Very ideal scenario. Makes a big splash winning the first game against Cluses, and then loses the next one, gets to go to NC State, and recruits when the portal opens. While I guess most of the ACC is going to be recruiting too, because you only got one team left with Duke. But obviously, getting first win for McNeese State is huge. Final score for McNeese versus Purdue: 76 Purdue, McNeese 62. Advances to their 6th Sweet 16 in the last 8 NCAA tournaments. Matt Painter's got this Purdue program rolling, taking on either Houston or Gonzaga based off of that matchup that'll take place. It's going to be a very good game. Will Wade and McNeese shouldn't hang their heads at all, obviously, making it back to the big dance, winning the first one. But we'll have to tune in for the Houston-Gonzaga game later this evening to see who Purdue is going to go up against. Just a great game for Purdue, all in all, besides the turnovers. I mean, even when Braden Smith doesn't have his best game, you got Trey Coppin-Ren that just was absolutely incredible. McNeese getting a well-deserved ovation from the crowd, but we'll have to see who wins this next game. All right, I actually think I'm going to jump off here after this first game. I got to grab some lunch and I do a few other things, but might hop on for this next game with St. John's versus Arkansas. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everyone that tuned in throughout the stream, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.